Yo, what's up? Trey TD23 back again with another video. I'm gonna be talking about the Brooklyn Nets, if they are contenders or pretenders. I'm not gonna this is gonna be where I just pretty much talk about every NBA team to see what they are, if they're rebuilding, if they're secretly contenders, if they're gonna be buying in the offseason, if they can kind of compete a little bit, if you want to say that. Right now, we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets. I've already talked about the Lakers. I was pretty sure like a month ago. I'm pretty sure a month or two ago. Pretty sure that was like my best viewed video. But I'm going to be talking about every single NBA team. I'm going to be talking about them throughout the year. I don't want to keep going rambling about all this, but so obviously Brooklyn Nets. First player I'm going to be talking about is Kevin Durant. About 6'10", 225, long wing. I don't think he's 6'10". I'm pretty sure he's like 6'11", 7 feet tall. Long arms, most efficient scorer of all time, probably the most all-around best scorer of all time. Efficient from three, efficient from mid, efficient driving to the in the paint, efficient off the ball, efficient pretty much Kevin Durant can do almost everything. As you guys saw, he pretty much had a 50-point triple double, and they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the defending going on to them winning the championship. I think if they just had James Harden healthy or Kyrie healthy, I think they get out of that series, and I think they beat the Hawks. And I'm pretty sure by that time, if Kyrie's back, James Harden would be healthy by either the conference finals or the finals, and I'm pretty sure they go on to win the title, but didn't happen. Kevin Durant, two-time champion, two-time MVP, the leader of the Brooklyn Nets, and I think, yeah, Kevin Durant. I'm going to be talking about James Harden next. About 6'5", point guard / shooting guard, MVP, former MVP. Very, very good for last year's Brooklyn Nets team. Pretty much an MVP when he was healthy. When he was on the Nets, pretty much took over the point guard position for the Brooklyn Nets. Let Kyrie Irving be the shooting guard. Let him just do his ISO, so he didn't have to worry about playmaking. It was James Harden playmake, and James Harden was still gonna do whatever he did when he was with Houston, dropping 30, 10 to 15 assists, and still damn near get 10, 15 rebounds. James Harden he played most of the games until he got injured. Wait, did he? I forget. Did he really get in? Yeah, he got injured towards like the end of the year or the first round or something. I don't remember. But it was Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving really missing a little bit of time in the season, which kind of messed up their seeding. But I mean, seeding really didn't matter for the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving, probably the most skilled player we've ever seen behind Kobe. Just amazing ball handling. Good three-point shooter, amazing mid-range, one of the best finishers we've ever seen. And yeah, Kyrie Irving hit the clutch. I'm pretty sure the clutchest shot in NBA history. Game 7 versus the 73-9 Warriors to win the finals. Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about LaMarcus Aldridge is back on the Brooklyn Nets. He's back in the NBA after that scary situation with his heart, a irregular heartbeat, I think it was. Mid-range shooter. He's one of their taller players. He's not too bad. Amazing fadeaway, post fade, amazing mid-range, can pop. Really, he's really an offensive player. I was hoping the Brooklyn Nets would go out and get like a defensive-ish center. DeAndre Jordan was a defensive center, but he's kind of old and way out of his prime at this point. So maybe they can go after like a Whiteside just to get him like 20 to 25 minutes just to try to get some just to play some defense, just get some blocks, get some rebounds, stuff like that. I mean, they got Javon Carter, who's a pretty damn good defender. Bruce Brown, good defender. Blake Griffin, who showed that he can bang down low with the big boys last year. Not doing too bad. They also got Patty Mills, Joe Harris, Paul Millsap, James Johnson, Cam Thomas. A lot of people say that he's the best scorer in the draft coming out of college. Nicholas Claxton, who's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty much their team. But I'm not talking about the players no more. I'm talking about the Brooklyn Nets in a whole. So the main thing for the Brooklyn Nets is defense. Kyrie Irving, not a defender. James Harden, not a defender. Joe Johnson, not a defender. Kevin Durant can defend, but not too much of a defender. And I don't know if they're going to be starting Blake Griffin or LaMarcus Aldridge or Paul Millsap at the center. Still not 100% sure about that. But again, none of those guys are really defenders. And Paul Millsap, he's a defender, but he's going to be an undersized center if he plays center. So it really wouldn't make sense to say that he's a defender when he's not. He's like 6'8", 6'9", and he's going to be playing like center, going up against Embiid and Jokic. We'll get into all that. But it's not scoring. It's not shooting. They have enough spacing. It's really the defense. When they go up against teams like, let me think, like the Bucks, got to deal with Giannis. They did pretty good in the playoffs, but it was because it was like decently high scoring. And Drew Holiday was kind of struggling, and Kyrie Irving was just cooking Drew Holiday. Like if they go up against like the Bucks, the Heat especially, the Heat, that's going, like if the Nets and the Heat face in the playoffs, that's going to be one of the best playoff series in the playoffs this year. Just the Heat have defense, the Bucks have, or the Heat, the Nets have offense, the Heat have defense. The Heat have a little bit of offense too, not as much firepower as the Nets, but their defense can kind of match that energy, so it's gonna it'll even out more. That's gonna be an amazing series. Even the Sixers. I just saw a report that Ben Simmons was offered for Karis LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon, and I think a pick. If I was the Sixers, or if I was the Pacers, I'd take that. That would help them a lot. But I'm not gonna talk about the 76ers. I'm not gonna talk about Ben Simmons right now. We're just going to talk about the 76ers as they are right now, as their roster is currently constructed. Yes, I know Ben Simmons isn't going in to training camp. He hasn't shown up for preseason, probably won't. He's going to get traded eventually this season. So, excuse me. We're talking about as if Ben Simmons was on the 76ers, like none of this was happening. Like Ben Simmons says, you know what, I'm going to play this season, get my value up maybe, then can go to a place where I want to play. So, the 76ers were a top 5 defense last year, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they were about top 5. Embiid, Ben Simmons, Danny Green's a pretty good defender. Couldn't guard Trae Young, but the only person that could really guard Trae Young is like Drew Holiday, Ben Simmons, and even then, he was getting 30 and 15. So, I mean, just defense pretty much, and no one on the Nets, no one on the Nets is going to stop Embiid. Tobias Harris is a good scorer, good shooter. Seth Curry was dropping 30 in the playoffs. They got Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey on the bench. The Nets have a lot of depth too. Patty Mills off the bench. Say Blake Griffin starts at the center. They got LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Millsap, Patty Mills, James Johnson, Cam Thomas, Javon Carter. They got a bunch of depth on that team. I think it'll help against a team like the 76ers. But it'll be tough stopping Embiid, and then when Ben Simmons wants to get to the paint, it's gonna be hard to stop him. This does the same thing he did in the Hawks series, but I'm not gonna talk about Ben Simmons. I actually like Ben Simmons, so they're going up against. You can even almost say the Bulls, because that's literally just going to be like a high scoring game. The Bulls have more defense than the Nets, but the Nets have more scoring, so it'll be more like the Miami Heat. It'll be a little bit more evened out. The Bulls don't have as much offense as the Nets, but the Nets don't have as much defense as the Bulls or the Heat. So it'll kind of even it out a little bit. I think the difference between the Nets offense and the Heat's offense is much more than the Heat's defense on the Nets offense, Nets defense. Just in my opinion. I think the Heat have a lot of defense, but having 3 of the greatest scorers and 3 of the greatest players of all time at their positions. Kyrie Irving, he's not top 10, might not even be top 15 at his position, but skill-wise, behind Kobe and maybe someone else, I don't know. Kevin Durant, one of the most efficient and greatest scorers of all time. I can confidently say he's, if you count him as a small forward, he's top 3 behind LeBron and Larry Bird. In my opinion, I think. James Harden, definitely top 5 behind like Jordan, Kobe, Dwayne Wade. Yeah, people are going to say Dwayne Wade is not better than James Harden, which I think is complete bullcrap. Dwayne Wade has 3 titles. And he averaged about 40 in the finals in 06. So, whatever. Yeah, I mean, just the Nets defense is going to be a problem, but they're my favorite. Obviously, if you watched my last video about the Eastern Conference, they're my favorites to win. Them, the Lakers, and the Bucks. Between those 3, maybe the Suns if the Suns can get on a hot streak and Devin Booker's doing Devin Booker, Chris Paul's doing Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton plays better in the finals. But that's just my opinion on the Brooklyn Nets. I do want them to be good. I want to have more of a... The only thing that I'm upset about is I want to have more of an even NBA. Say Westbrook stays with the Wizards. James Harden never gets traded to the Nets and he goes to the 76ers. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Those are just a bunch of big 2s. There's no big 3s. Except, the Bulls can get their big 3/big 4/big 5. But, we're not talking about the Bulls. But I'll probably make a video on the Bulls as well, just talking about them. I do got to make a couple more videos for this weekend and the beginning of next week. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and peace.